Well, I know there's a World Cup on, but what everybody really wants to know is who's made the cut for this week's Festival Focus. I'm back with my co-pilot, David Mullins, running the rule over the notable performances from the last 7 days with a view to next spring and the major festivals. First up, David, we will dive in. Tuesday, Lingfield, the opening maiden hurdle, 15 lengths was the margin of superiority for a horse called Authorised Speed. This time last week, you gave the thumbs down to another youngster coming on the scene, Fenor Cross. But what about this Authorised Speed? Because not only has he got Cheltenham experience, fifth in a champion bumper last March, but he also hails from a team who know very much about Cheltenham's success. The architects of the great Sire de Grugy, the Queen Mother Champion Chase winner, the masterminds behind the enigmatic and once upon a time would-be festival winner, the famous Goshen, the Moore family, who are very sharp and very well know when they've got a good one on their hands. Authorised Speed, thumbs up or thumbs down based on what you saw last week?
Massive thumbs up. I thought this horse was very impressive. Jumped him off last in the maiden hurdle. It's a strange thing to do, even with a very free horse. He ran away with Jamie down the back and he just kept galloping. He didn't even look at hurdles. I was very taken by him, and he hit the line strong as well. If they can harness his energy and put it into something a bit more productive, I think this horse could be a proper horse, and a 33-1 for the Supreme. I think he could be. He's a massive player for me. I think he's going to cause a few upsets with a few of the stronger stables over the coming months. Well,
that is something to whet the appetite, because you're not usually easily impressed. Quite often you'll just shrug your shoulders and say next. Well, next in this list is Gerri Colombe, who also last Tuesday was part of a treble on the card for a very much informed Gordon Elliott at Fairy House. I like the way this horse jumped over 2 mile 5 in the beginners. And if you look at his CV now, yes, it's early days. He's won a point. He's won a couple of bumpers. He's won 2 over hurdles. Now he's won over fences. He readily saw off Bron and Tenzing, 2 Willie Mullins horses. Bookies throwing around quotes ranging between 14-1 and half that for the Brown Advisory. Take this guy seriously?
I do. He jumped while I was there in Fairy House. He looked great. I'd say he looked so good that he's probably going to improve for it a bit. But I don't think he's a proper grade 1 horse in my opinion. I think maybe something like the 4 mile or the 3 mile 6 or whatever it is now. Maybe a national horse in time or an Irish national or something. I don't see him being cut out for grade 1s. It's too early to make that opinion, but that's my opinion of him at the minute.
Interesting. I suspect that most owners would absolutely be thrilled if you said he's only going to be good enough to be a top grade handicapper. We will see. The one I'm really looking forward to asking you about, though, Warwick, middle of last week, a certain Jonbon, a horse with a massive reputation, a huge profile. He readily eclipsed 2 handy horses, Montmorel and West Cork, jumping well. Warwick's a track that takes a bit of navigating with that sharp left-hand bend as they turn for home. But he's only won a 3-horse race so far over fences. Is it fair and justified for bookies to be slashing his odds for the Arkle to 2-1, or is that a blatant knee-jerk overreaction based upon what you watched, Jonbon?
He was very good. He couldn't have done any more. It's definitely an overreaction. We see him do it in a grade 1, or I don't know, maybe against the likes of Appreciated or some of the proper horses. I think it probably is an overreaction, but he couldn't have done any more, to be fair to the horse. So never mind the reactions and what people think of it. The horse done his talking and he done his job.
Yeah, fair comment. Another horse who did his job, a horse that you'll know, is Blue Lord, who went to Thurles and got the job done. He had to be pretty tough and quite gutsy, quite dour to see off his own stablemate, the King George winner, Tornado Flyer. Those two having a good scrap. Blue Lord coming out on top. After the race, the chatter was potentially for the Ryanair 16-1, 20-1, quotes like that. His own stablemate, again, is the mighty Allaho. Would Allaho just have rolled over in his bed and gone back to sleep if he was watching that? Or if these two came head to head and eyeballed one another in March, is Blue Lord a serious part of that kind of conversation?
The only time they'll be eyeballing each other in March is down at the start. You won't see which way he went. He got the job done, like you said. I think another 50 yards Tornado Flyer was up. That's a track that didn't really, I don't think, suited Tornado Flyer. But no, I don't think Blue Lord is going to be any threat to Allaho. Not in my opinion, anyway.
All right, listen, we will put this to bed with a performance at Punchestown on Sunday in the Morgiana Hurdle. Yet another victory in this race for Willie Mullins, a 1-2-3 for the stable, led home by a youngster who's gaining a tall reputation. And from State Man, a bit of a statement, because the bookies now make him 6-1 generally for the champion hurdle. And I thought it was potentially significant that his trainer came out afterwards and said, you'll see the best of this horse when things get more competitive in a bigger field at a stronger pace as he gains experience. But so far, from what I can see at least, he's doing everything right. Is he worthy of inclusion at single figure prices for a champion hurdle?
He's worthy of inclusion, there's no doubt about it. Saldier and Sharjah, they're good yardsticks, but I don't know. I don't think Stateman could have done any more. I'm sure the three of them were probably only half ready. Sharjah, he's normally the last horse off the bridle. He was the first one of the three off the bridle on Sunday. I don't know. I wouldn't be reading too much into it. I'd be looking at that like a piece of work. It just didn't have what I was looking for, but he can't do any more. I seen him in the parade ring, like Gerri Colombe. I think he's going to improve massively for the run and all the experience he gets. But as what's Honeysuckle and Constitution Hill, I think they could be a step above, but we'll have to see them this season first.
Well, let's see what comes. Like I said, not easily impressed David Mullins, but I think your comments about Authorised Speed in particular could be instructive. Final word. I know that potentially, just like Allaho, you probably would roll over in bed and go back to sleep. But you've got 32 to choose from. The Football World Cup is dominating some people's attention. Any David Mullins tip for the World Cup? I like Argentina, by the way. Who will it be in 4 weeks' time?
Are Ireland playing in that? No.
Well, I think it's the wrong shaped ball, I'll be honest with you. But
no, I'm messing. No, I don't fancy anyone. I don't look at it. Sure. Hopefully it comes home for you.
I told you, folks, this man's hard to impress. It won't be coming home for England. It might be for Argentina. We will be back same time, same place next week with Festival Focus. Thanks for watching. Good luck.